we have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world with a rule of law,
is to actually create a new world order.
A world in which there is a very real prospect of world order. It's about the future of Europe and a new world order.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it was a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
You know, I get a little upset as the rope tightens around my throat. And it's like an unbelievable sense of urgency that I know about, and I know what's happening, and I'm trying to desperately get through to you. Here in the state of Connecticut, the communist governor, the gun-grabbing governor, Daniel Malloy, sent letters to gun owners giving them a deadline to turn in their guns because they're not in compliance with his unconstitutional law to grab AR-15s and assault rifles because of the dangerous look of them, the psychology that the media has put into it with all the movies that we see. Every goddamn movie uses an AR-15. Die Hard on. I mean, look at this. Actually, you can go it back to Bonnie and Clyde. The movie Bonnie and Clyde opened the door to this horrific violence, graphic violence with guns, and there's a reason for it. They're using psychological methods. It's a psyop, ladies and gentlemen. And there are 100,000 awake Connecticut residents that are constitutionalists and understand the reason why you have weapons. It's not to hunt. It's not to specifically to protect your home against invaders and people that might want to do you harm, to defend yourself. It's the last resort against tyranny and government. That is the reason. Okay? That's the truth. So we have a constitutional right to protect ourselves. I mean, technically we should all be able to have bazookas. I mean, but of course that's not rational. But to take away someone's guns, make illegal guns from people that are law-abiding citizens that have registered their guns already, who had a re-registration process for this specific type of gun, is not only outrageous, it's motivated by an agenda. They are trying to take away the guns, ladies and gentlemen. The United States of America is the only country on the face of the earth that truly could stand up for democracy and freedom as the world is being turned into this totalitarian socialist government. It's happening. Europe's cooked. The EU, look at these people. They're slaves. Look at what happened to Cyprus. People who one day woke up and a third of their bank accounts were gone. Or half, a huge amount. I think it was half. Half of their money that was just gone. That can't happen in America, right? It can if we continue this process. Because this is what happens. This whole socialist program is designed to implode economies and make them dependent on the banks, to bail them out, to restructure them, their economies, and, in this case, to bring in a world currency. And over this 100 years, which is, again, you know, the Global 2000 and their plans, their depopulation programs, the whole thing is in here, and it's all happening. So this noose is tightening around my neck. And I feel it. And I don't know if you feel it right now, but you better start feeling it, because I can just rattle off so much stuff. And here's what we're going to do. We got the gun grab in here. They've been trying to grab these guns constantly. The assault weapons ban. Reagan was shot, the Brady bill, he had to ban handguns. They're disarming the population through legislation. What was supposed to be the government protecting our individual privacy rights and our rights to own property and all of the things that we have, that's what they're supposed to be protecting. But it's turned into they're turning us into slaves to their system so that we work for them, we pay them taxes, they do what they want with the money. And even the taxes, it's all designed to take away the wealth. The Communist Manifesto, number one, the first thing about it was a central bank. You had to have a central bank. Abolition of property rights, central bank, and this is what we've been slowly going. I mean, half of these things are in place already. It's a fact. And then you have other reports that came out in the 50s that were suppressed because the money behind this is the Rothschild money, the trillions, okay, the United Nations, but all these are all fronts for the back people, the 13 ruling class families, of which is the Saxe-Coburg-Gothas that everyone knows as the Windsors. That's right, they're a German family. The British monarchy are Germans. Look it up, it's true. But you'd never think this. They don't let you know this. The information is suppressed. There's a reason. They want to keep you a slave. We're not slaves. And Mr. Malloy is going to have a big problem if he starts trying to confiscate weapons in this state. I don't believe if he goes to confiscate that they will do it. I believe it'll be the biggest political disaster of his career. So let's see what happens with Mr. Malloy. Because the truth of the matter is that we as a nation, as patriots, have to stand up for the Constitution or stand for nothing. This is our nation. This is our country. We got to take it back. It's said that if you can't stand up for your rights and you have nothing to stand for, you'll fall for anything. Remember that. Alexander Hamilton said, a man who stands for nothing will fall for anything.
I'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like a tube. You eat like a tube. You raise your children like a tube. You even think like a tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
When we are successful, we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
It's the need for a new world order, but it has different characteristics in different parts of the world.
And the President outlined his vision of a new world order in which the US would participate fully, one rooted on 4 basic principles.
Non-proliferation and disarmament.
None of it is true.
The promotion of peace and security. The preservation of our planet. And a global economy that advances opportunity for all people.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
It's about the future of Europe and a new world order.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world
your
order.
plan, you can keep your plan.